What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't already signed up for it yet, you're just making bad life choices. Just go to scoresandodds.com and sign up. We have everything. We have all sorts of picks from me, from Daniel Chevelchen, from Meansy, from everyone, Noto, all the guys over at RG every single day, just cranking out picks. Plus, we have this nice little prop shopping tool where it has RG projections right there, so you can just click, sort by biggest difference, and all of a sudden we see, Cat is projected for 26.8 points. The best line on his over is FanDuel minus 120. Boom, you can go bet it. It's that simple. Go get signed up, and if you haven't already done so, I think this is the last week it'll be free, but go to scoresandodds.com/discord. Sign up for the Grants Action Lounge. We got picks every single day. Every single pick that is on this show is over in the Grants Action Lounge. Throwing them in throughout the day. Tomorrow, this show will be a little bit earlier. I don't know if it's going to be at 1 or if it's going to be at 1:30 Eastern time, but it will be a little earlier tomorrow. I'm going to Lost Wages. I have a bachelor party this weekend, my bachelor party to be specific. So I will not be coherent after that show for the next 3 days. So if I'm in an IA, it happens. It's that simple. Everyone needs a break every once in a while, and everyone needs to get drunk and lost wages every once in a while. But I am joined by a man who's just super rich after his $25,000 win last week. Just the richest man in the world. Money to throw around, can do whatever he likes.
It's all I talk about.
Chevelchen.
I can't stop talking about it, right, Grant? I bring it up in every conversation we have.
Every gosh darn diddly day.
Yeah, I mean, you did win $300,000 in the sports betting competition on DK or
Just
this year or last
year? It was 200. Just say a $250,000.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you short or round you up, but whatever. A lot of money. You
By the way, how much more? Like a $250,000 sounds way more than 250. A $500,000 sounds way more than 500.
It does.
Like spending $500K for a house, not that bad. Spending a $500,000, oh, maybe.
Man, maybe that's money bags over here.
Yeah, I mean, my house wasn't that expensive. My house was a $500,000, which in Colorado Springs buys you a lot of house. A lot of house.
How excited are we for the bachelor party?
I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. Got a nice dinner set up, 2 rounds of golf, and then if anyone's over in Vegas at MGM on Saturday, you'll probably see me. We'll be very recognizable. Bunch of dudes at the lazy river, floating around, eating Jell-O shots. That's my ideal day. That was the one requirement for my bachelor party.
You talk about that all the time. You do love that wave pool. How many?
No, lazy river. The wave pool's at Mandalay Bay, sir.
Lazy river. My apologies. How deep are you rolling? How many people are we talking about as far as the bachelor party?
18, I think.
Woo!
18, 20. Yeah.
Well, not messing around. You could feel like an NBA squad. Easily.
Yeah, we could field an entire NBA game.
Yeah. What was it? The OKC game was it OKC Portland had like 18 guys dressing last game. Maybe 17 at the late stretch. Oh,
what trash! What trash that is. I'm trying to think of anything I should be doing in Vegas other than like golf, nice dinner, lazy river. I can't think, and gambling, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be a different answer if you were 22 as opposed to like 31.
33, and also if I haven't been to Vegas 100 times.
Yeah, you've done everything. You've hit all the staples, right? I assume for the most part.
Yeah, I've done almost everything in Vegas.
Go to Lotus Siam. Is it Siam or Siam? I'm not sure.
I'm not a huge Thai food fan, but I will go there one time. It's just not huge on my list.
Oh, last time I was there, so last year it was fabulous.
Yeah, I was there with you.
No, you weren't.
I was in Vegas when you were.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was with a different group of people that you're not aware of. I don't like the clouding the worlds, but I saw you.
I've met those people. We played trivia together.
Oh, I guess you kind of met some of them. Yeah, I suppose you did. Okay, fair enough.
I played trivia with him, and I did not get one thing right the entire time. I was just sitting there drunk, like waiting to get one thing right. Never happened. I'm like, all right, I'm out of here, guys. I can't do the same.
I'm probably the dumbest person in that room. And like, it's not like an insult on me, but like there's like 3 people that have been on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
It's a really, really smart crowd. And I'm just happy to be around.
Yeah. I can safely say you're the dumbest person in that room. And I can safely say when I went in there, I was in this specific vein of trivia. I was the dumbest person there. Yeah,
it's a fun group. It's a lot of sharp people. So
yeah, I may be smarter than you, but you are sure as heck better at trivia than me.
Surround yourself with smarter people. There's the moral of the story, if possible. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I don't think so.
I mean, I generally like to be the smartest person in the room, and generally am, because I'm a genius and the voice of our generation. As you can see by my nice little spreadsheet, we have made $14.5K, so I am one of this. We lost $115 yesterday, Daniel. Gosh.
On what? What was your big bets yesterday?
I mean, do you remember? I had Embiid over 30.5 points, which I thought hit, and then that block got goaltending got reviewed and was ruled a block, so that cost that one. Kyrie Irving missed 3 layups in the fourth, missed by the hook. Bruce Brown, I think he just hit. Giannis, I think he hit pretty easily. DeRozan was at 4 assists in the fourth quarter. Lost. Porzingis had 3 blocks, one of which shouldn't have been counted. So, yeah, the ones that missed, like, it's always rough when you have, like, I ended up winning money last night after I placed a lot more bets after the show. But it's always rough when you barely win money and you lose, like, 6 bets by the hook. Like, especially when you lose something like Embiid by the hook. By a
review too. The call was right, for the record. Like, they got it right, but still it hurts.
I know. I'm still like, I marked it as a win in my spreadsheet, and then all of a sudden I see that the game's over. I'm like, what happened to overtime?
Yeah.
Yep.
Giannis is amazing. Did you see he opened his post-game press conference? He walks out there with a book of dad jokes, and he's just like, "Yeah, we got a dad joke." He's amazing. I think every single press conference he should open up, like, just walk out there, drop a dad joke, and say, "All right, any questions?"
Yeah, no, you gotta love Giannis. Whatever you think about him as a basketball player, you gotta love him.
Yeah, he's fun. I was told he can't play basketball. I was told he wasn't good by some people, which is, man, that's so bad.
I think I was on that train. It's not that it wasn't good. It's like he needs a very specific team around him, and I will take the L on that. But we got basketball. We got a lot of games here, and I've got to drive a lot of hours. So let's get right into it. We got Dallas going up against Cleveland. I've got a few bets here. I mean, the total in this game is super low. Cleveland implied team total 106.25 seems low to me. So I hit a lot of the over. I have Okoro over 8.5 points. Got it minus 112 over at FanDuel. I have Garland over 23.5 points. Got it minus 116 at FanDuel. And I have Markkanen over 14.5 points. Got it minus 118 over at FanDuel. FanDuel just not giving Cleveland guys enough love. I like the overs on the points there, and that's really all I've got. I mean, I may end up betting Luka later on in the day. I mean, it's not really a great matchup. What's his points prop sitting at? 30.5. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'd probably prefer the under on that one.
It's a back half of a back-to-back for Dallas, but like they didn't have to work too hard last night. Luka had a triple-double, I think, like 5 minutes to go in the third last night.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
And it was what, like 40, 12, and 12?
And like, I don't know what he played, 25 minutes or something like that. It was incredible. Maybe 30, but he didn't play a ton, obviously. And the key thing, you talk about Cleveland being a bad matchup, and it is like, it's a bad matchup throughout the season, but now they're without their 2 best defensive players, on the inside, and Mobley and Allen. We're assuming that, Kevin Love's going to go jump in the starting lineup. So that matchup all of a sudden not as terrible. Of course, Dallas plays really slow. So Cleveland, like you said, you like some of the Cleveland guys, they're going to get more minutes delegated their way. But again, the matchup's not great there against Dallas.
Yeah, we've seen them play Garland 40 minutes every night.
Yes. We could see Garland play. And that's the other important thing. And again, I stress this. I talk about this all the time about the, where we're at. And they're on the 7th spot. And but we reference this all the time. Like, we never really kind of spell it out for people, 7 through 10 as far as the playoff. How that works is 7 plays 8. The winner of that matchup gets the 7th spot. 9 plays 10. The winner of that moves on to play the loser of 7 versus 8, the loser of 9 versus 10 out of the playoffs. So, yeah, Cleveland would love to jump. What's that?
Yeah, the Nets or the Cavs also, like, they want to jump up to the 6th spot there, like, or the 5th spot. They're a game behind the Raptors, a game and a half behind the Bulls.
You might see Garland play. What do we have him projected for? I would say anything less than 39 is like too low. We have him projected for 40 minutes today. 40, a projection, which is like a median projection. That's really hard to do, but that is, I believe, accurate.
I mean, he's hit the over on that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the last 6 games.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, matchups not necessarily appealing, and he's going to get all the opportunity in the world, because you talked about guys like Okoro, that they're not heavy usage guys. That's not somebody's going to take a bunch of shots, obviously. Love will, and Levert will. Marketing can as well, but like Lamar Stevens, like if he's out there for a good bit, we haven't projected him for 25 minutes. Yeah, I think Garland is. I mean, there's a chance that he scores like 40 points, like 40 actual points. Like, wouldn't shock me. Yeah. So,
absolutely right there with you. Ooh, this is an interesting bet here. Jimmy Butler under 6.5 rebounds. What do you think about that minus 124? I'm probably going to hit that right now.
I don't have a thought right out the gate, for the record. I don't know. Getting it a little bit different.
Boston, so.
I mean, it's a different Boston team, obviously. Williams, they got news that Williams is going to be out, 4 to 6 weeks or so. What a bummer. I guess, there's a chance, depending how long the playoffs go and they keep winning. But yeah, we're expecting everybody back. Whoever was out last game, they're all back with the exception of Williams.
Yeah, line just moved down to 5.5. So I would have been right to hit that, but
they're both fighting for that one spot. Like, they're right. Theoretically, we'll talk about that game. And then that's that whole sort of like, you want the one, but you don't want to face Brooklyn. But I think the most likely scenario is that Brooklyn gets the 7, right? Because they most likely play Cleveland, and they most likely beat Cleveland, meaning they get the 7. So I think you want the 1 and you want to avoid the 2, right? I guess that's the plan. And if you don't, you want to get 1 or 3. You don't want 2.
Yeah, I'm hitting a bet right now for the next game. Orlando, Washington. So I've learned to stay away from teams tanking. You posted something about the tankathon. There is someone who played a lot of minutes who's not terrible.
For Orlando, you're talking about?
Yeah, and I just bet his over. And can you guess who it is?
Is it one of the Wagners?
Nope.
Okiki? I don't trust any.
In fact, Okiki, sitting at 19.5 PRA. He got 13 straight minutes of run to end the game. He played a boatload of minutes. He's the one guy that they seem to be keeping in there every single time. Well, I mean, we don't have a huge sample size, but they seem to keep him in there a decent amount. They played him a lot in the last game, so why not? Why not?
I was looking for a Carter. I didn't see a number on him, but like unders on Carter would be interesting because
I think about the last game.
Time. What's that?
He had 15. I had the over 15.5. He had 15 halfway through the third. Took him out, never came back. I'm still tilted about that.
Yeah, I mean, look, they are tied. Detroit, Orlando, and Houston still tied in the tankathon, all 20 and 56. Houston just sat down. We'll talk about it. Gordon is done for the rest of the year. Wood's done for the rest of the year. There's somebody else too. I think I'm missing. I mean, they're all tanking.
Gordon, Wood, and Schroeder.
There you go. Demolition Man is gone. Like they're. This is important stuff. They want the best. Again, worst plan B if you don't win the lotto is at least get the 4 spot, right? You want the 4 as opposed to the 6. So, this is going to continue going forward, and they're all sort of like seeing each other. And I raise you this, and I raise you that, and we saw OKC. They're not 3, they're 4 right now. And they're kind of, I don't want to say they're locked in the 4, but they're 2 games ahead of that threesome, and a couple games behind Indiana, however you want to say it. But it's going to be brutal the rest of the way with Orlando. Orlando is openly tanking, which good, they should be. But this is what's happening.
Yeah. You have any bets on the Orlando-Washington game, or just thinking about unders?
Yeah, I was looking for unders on Carter for the reason we just kind of laid out, and I didn't see any bets. Kuzma ruled out as suspected, and it seems like Washington's that weird spot where they're just kind of playing it out, I guess, because they're not terrible enough where they can tank, and they're certainly not good enough where they make the playoffs. So they're just sort of like, I mean, they're resting Kuzma, and he probably could play. Who knows? Porzingis on a back-to-back. We've seen him play 32 minutes on back-to-back, and I guess until further notice, this is going to continue, but we might get, the rug pulled out at some point. But I imagine Washington just kind of is what they are. It's playing out the string. Nothing really jumps out for me.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the next game. Denver at Indy. Indy obviously terrible. High total for Denver. I am hammering the Jokic over 26.5 points. That's one of my favorite bets of the day. Yeah. Yeah, it's just so. I mean, who they have no one to guard him.
I mean, is Batase going to try to go out like a guard him at the 3-point line when he's sent up the offense? Like, good luck with that, Goga. And then like nobody else.
If Goga even plays.
Yeah, and Indiana again, another team that's pretty clearly. I mean, the tanking is going to take care of itself in this one. But yeah, Goga's questionable. Isaiah Jackson's questionable. Brissett should be available tonight, but like whatever, he's not imposing. And Denver also the other key part is they have motivation. Denver is on the cusp. They're on that 6th spot. Minnesota kind of on their tails, 2 games behind. They can't lose their focus. They have to wallop them, and they will. I think Denver wins this game by at least 10. By the way, as far as the line, I don't see Indiana hanging around for this one.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but you never really know. I mean, Halliburton can go nuts. I'm staying away from the spread, but Joker's the bet I like, and then not a ton else.
What about PRA? Why do you like the points and not PRA?
I mean, because he's going to score. Like, no one's going to be able to guard him, so he doesn't have to dish the ball out.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to score 120 points, and he's going to be involved in a lot of those. And I just think there's a chance, maybe Indiana, who knows if they're doing something defensively, but maybe he just puts in 24 points and has like 14 assists. But yeah, he's running the show. He's getting points either on the front end or the back end, and they can't make that number high enough. I'm glad you like Jokic as well, because how do you not? He looks awesome tonight.
Yeah, is my internet bugging out or yours?
I don't know. I think my internet's good to go. I haven't noticed. You sound normal to me and totally cool.
Okay, it might be. I don't know. Who knows? We're moving on though. Miami at Boston. I've got nothing here. Slow game. Like I said, I was about ready to bet the Butler under 6.5 rebounds, but it moved to 5.5. So I'm just kind of off everything. Oh, I also forgot to mention Jeff Green over 13.5 points. Solid overall line. Getting minus 115 over at Caesars. I bet that. Someone's asking in chat about Jokic over 1.5 3-pointers at plus 168. Let's see what.
That feels like a pretty good number.
Yeah, that's a really good number. I mean, we have him projected for 1.57. Let's see. Jokic over. How many times has he hit it over lately? I might actually end up betting that. Let's see. Yeah, he hasn't had it for a while, but I mean, he's going to be shooting in this spot here going up against Indy. Yeah, I don't mind that. I'm going to stay away, but that's probably a decent bet there. Miami, Boston, do you have anything? I don't know if there's many lines out.
I have a really weird one if you can find it someplace. Some books have I know later in the day they put out more names, right? Like a lot of times it's just going to add stuff. If you can bet unders on Victor Oladipo, you can get that. I mean, Miami's kind of discovering that Oladipo ain't it. Like he ain't it. He's not great for spacing either, and they're already hurting enough spacing wise with Adebayo and Butler being their 2 best players. That's why you need guys like Strus, guys like Lowry, guys like Robinson, Chuck, and those threes, Tucker as well when he's in the corner. Oladipo hurts their spacing even more. I don't even know if he's going to play, but if you can find, I think you need him to play obviously for it to pay off. If you can find someplace, try to find some Oladipo unders. It's a weird one for you.
All right. I like that. I'll keep an eye out for it. Moving on to Charlotte versus the Knicks. Another one where I just don't really have any bets in this game. Don't know if there's a ton of lines. Like the lines are slow to come out, and I mean, I've even noticed certain websites are actually limiting me earlier on the day because of the tankathon going on everywhere. Like it hasn't been like that earlier on the season, but they won't let me put a ton of money out on most lines because there's so many things that can change. I have nothing.
By the way, I just did a quick look as far as Jokic per 36 in the season, 1.4 threes. So he's basically, getting a 3.5 per game. He plays around. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. That's per 36 is a little bit higher than that, right? Yeah, 1.5 per 36, 1.4 in the season. He plays like 33 minutes. So yeah, just to walk it back, you're getting plus 165. You're talking about that, and you're facing Indiana. I'm good with that number. I like the over on it.
Yeah. Anything for Charlotte or the Knicks?
Charlotte has not. It's like the same team every single day. New York. Do we have not lines with Fournier being questionable? That might have changed it up a little bit.
I don't think. Is he questionable or did he get ruled out?
He was ruled out, and then he was ruled questionable a half hour later.
All right.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. I don't think there's a lot going on in this game. To be honest, I don't have any big thoughts here.
I'm thinking. Now that I got myself thinking about Okiki. I think I'm hitting Franz Wagner over 14.5 points because he also got run.
It's a revenge game for one of the Wagners. Which Wagner played for Washington? Was it Mo or I think it was Mo. Mo was
it was Mo.
Was a Wizard. The thing is, like, I think, and we see this we saw this Detroit last night. When these tanking teams are losing, you want them to be losing so that they're more likely to stay out there, if that makes sense. If they're winning, they want them to give up the lead. Like we saw Orlando the other night, they were up 2 with like 6 minutes to go. Like that was part of all their nonsense out there. But like Detroit, they let their guys go last night because they were losing to Brooklyn, like by like 7 or 8. It was healthy enough where Brooklyn's going to win and we're going to keep playing our guys. And that's like the perfect scenario. So like just a thought, like, and you don't know how this stuff's going to happen. I think you want your players losing if you're on the tanking team, and that probably makes them more likely, the good ones, the good players, the featured players.
Yeah. So stay away from Cole Anthony, stay away from Carter Jr., stay away from those guys. But yeah, we've got nothing. Charlotte versus the Knicks, Minnesota, Toronto. I already talked about it. I haven't taken it yet, but the Cat over on points. It's sitting pretty heavy juice. I guess the juice has moved down to -116 over on FanDuel. I like it there. I think that's a decent bet. They're not going to let me get much money down now, so I might go back at it later. But I think that's a solid one. I mean, we have them projected for a decent amount of points here. 20. I am going to hit that. I might hit it again later when they let me get more money down. But
the only caution with him, I would say, is that he was dealing with that arm. And it looked like, if you watch some of the games, it looked like he was like legit. It was bothering him to some extent. He's playing through it. Of course, Minnesota is a motivated team, which is good to have. They're trying to catch Denver, so they're going to play their guys as they should. He was a little apprehensive as far as taking shots, like 10 shots a couple of games ago versus Dallas, 15 versus. I just feel like he's taking a few less. Is sort of my issue. OKC, we saw him take 5. I guess that's a couple weeks ago, but. In theory, I like it. I'm just trying to. I'm a little bit concerned, but I assume he's okay. Maybe I'm being too paranoid.
Yeah, you probably are, but classic you. I like to take risks, like that one game risk.
Yeah, I never played Risk.
Really? That's weird. You seem like a guy that would suck at Risk, but like to play it.
I mean, I think I like it. It's about taking over the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever played Settlers of Catan?
No, I know it's a thing. I know people love that game though, but I've never played it before.
No, absolutely fantastic. Love it.
I like board games. I just don't. I don't play them for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next game. I got a decent amount of bets here. Sacramento versus Houston. Tankathon game. 230 or 229.5 total here. I bet Jalen Green over 28.5 points, rebounds, assists. They ruled out all their main guys. They're just going to give him a run. Like he should see an uptick. So I like the over on him. Deshaun Tate over 11.5 points. Hammer it. Harrison Barnes over 26.5 points, rebounds, assists. Hammer it. Davion Mitchell over 21.5 points. Hammer it.
Yeah, I mean, a little apprehensive about Houston just because, again, they are one of the 3 teams that is tied. But, like, in theory, you're right. Green is an awesome play. And Tate, who's been in rough form of late, should –
hit the over in his last game.
Yeah, but I'm saying as a general, like, he's been kind of sputtering that down the – what did he get over on? What was the number? He had 10 points, 9.5.
The over was 9.5.
Yeah, he played 28 minutes, 20 before that, 23, 19, and again, they should be pushed up a little bit in theory, but I'm not.
I mean, without what's Gordon in there, without Wood in there, like Sengun is questionable.
Well, we don't know. Yeah, Sengun is a big cog in this because he could play upwards of 30 minutes in this game, and he's a huge. It'll be a huge part of their offense if he's in. If he's not, like, can you bet like KJ Martin right now? Because I think he's an awesome play.
Let me see.
Speculative wise, like I think he's getting run no matter what. I think there's a chance that he plays a little bit more.
No lines out right now. I mean, maybe it's because of the Sengun questionable tag.
Christopher's another guy that can get some additional run too. And the Davion Mitchell stuff is weird because, like you said, Sacramento. I mean, they're just kind of already. They're not going to be in the top 4 or 5 as far as the tanks. So I guess they're just sort of like playing their guys, but they're playing him a ton. Like Davion Mitchell's getting a ton of run. Fox and Sabonis likely done for the season. But yeah, Davion Mitchell looks like a really strong play on his overs. I was looking at him. That's one that I kind of wrote down earlier. Some hesitation, but I assume he plays at least 35 minutes with a ceiling of maybe 40. Again, I don't know why you're playing him that much. There's other bodies. But it's also worth noting Houston's defense has not been as horrific the second half as they were in the front half. You know, they're kind of middle of the pack now.
Yeah,
but
middle of the pack and pace too.
What's that?
Middle of the pack and pace too. But I mean, still, this is going to be a high scoring game.
It should be, yeah. And I guess there's nothing on Şengün out there, just kind of waiting, right?
Yeah, I mean, Milo in chat says he's unlikely to play.
Şengün?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like he got.
I thought it was a true questionable tag. So
yeah, he left last game like in the late third, I believe, and I didn't think it was anything too serious. But again, it's maybe Houston doesn't want to play him either, and if he doesn't, like KJ Martin, I think that's the guy. Kenyon's kid's gonna crush tonight. If Şengün doesn't go, I think he's the main piece. Like Bruno Fernando is gonna get some run, that kind of thing. But I think KJ Martin, I suspect, will be the biggest benefactor.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next game. We got Atlanta versus OKC. Not a ton of lines out here for this game. I mean, the whole tankathon of OKC. I don't see a bunch of lines. I have no bets here. I have no lean anyway. I'm staying away from the tanking team. There's nothing I want to bet over on the Atlanta side of things. I think Mann is currently questionable, which that's a big piece.
Sure.
So there's just no lines out there. I got nothing.
I mean, I could see Trae Young just lighting him up. I mean, Atlanta again is they're a motivated team. You know, they're battling for home court of that 10 versus 9 game, right? They're one game behind Charlotte. Theoretically, they can move up to the 8, but probably not. Brooklyn's the 8, and I don't think Brooklyn's got to lose several games. Atlanta's got to go undefeated, right?
Yeah.
But Trae should absolutely crush this team, right? I'm looking at the alt stuff. Trae Young plus 230 for 35 points. Maybe you hit like both the alt assist and the alt points, and you're getting positive odds, and one of them's going to get there. You know what I mean? So like if you bet like plus 136, 12 assists, right? You take that bet on Trae Young, and you take like the over 30. I'm just looking at it right now. Over 30 points. Well, that's 108. That's whatever. Let's go 35. He's either going to get 35 plus points or 12 plus assists. Like one of those get there. And just thinking out loud in that one. What do you think?
Yeah, your internet was cutting in and out for me, but I mean, you sound like you know what you're talking about sometimes. Let's move on to Memphis going up against San Antonio. I've got a few bets in this one. I hate doing it, but Bane under 4.5 rebounds. Line seems a little high. Steven Adams under 7.5 points. Line seems a little high. And something I hit earlier on the day, I don't know if it's moved. Pirtle under 2.5 steals plus blocks. I also realized in the Sacramento game, I bet the over of 1.5 turnovers for Lyles, setting it plus 165 over at Caesars. So
I don't have a take on that, but I'm sure it's great.
Yeah, I didn't think you would, but I mean, we have been projected for around 1.5. So I'm rolling with it. But yeah, the Pirtle under, Bane under on rebounds, and the Adams under on points. Like I may end up hitting the Bane over on points, as I do many times. But for right now, I'm kind of staying away from it. It's staying at 21.5. It's probably where it should be.
How concerned are you if Triple J does not play? He's currently questionable. Memphis, Memphis is like entrenched in that 2 spot, and Phoenix entrenched in that 1 spot. We'll talk about them, but Memphis is 8 games behind Phoenix, and they're 5 games in front of Golden State. So like I was thinking the same thing as far as like unders on Memphis, because they probably should be kind of coasting a little bit, right? Because they're not really going to move out of the 2. And if Jackson's dealing with something, give him a couple days, whatever it is. Why not give him some more time? And they also play a bunch of dudes, right? And they tend to keep their guys' minutes subdued as is. So I was, it's funny you said it, because I was thinking the same sort of thought process as maybe Memphis guys under, some of the unders. Of course, the matchup is good, which is the tricky part. But I just think it's just interesting we're on the same path in that.
Yeah. I mean, there's not literally nothing going on in Memphis. Like they're 8.5 games away from the Suns, 5 games away from the Warriors. There's what, 6 games left.
Yeah. Is my internet funky? Can you hear me saying that or no? Because I forgot to go hardwire. I'm on Wi-Fi, which might be the problem. So I apologize.
I think it was my internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not my internet. I need to get a new laptop. Like I'm normally at my desktop setup and things work. I just had to close a few more tabs.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So it should be good now. Moving on to the next game, Phoenix Golden State. I've got nothing. I've got nothing here.
So I'm just confused with what Phoenix is doing, and maybe like they're smarter than me, but like they are playing Booker a ton. I don't know if they think that he's like a late run for MVP or something. I don't. But like 35 minutes last game versus Philly, 39 before. Remember that game in Denver? He put up 49. Like that's when this stuff is clinched. They have the one locked up, man. Just chill. Why are you playing these guys so many minutes? I mean, they'll probably at some point these guys will like take a day off, and like Chris Paul too. But like until further notice, I guess they're just playing the string out. But it's weird. Am I the only one that thinks this is odd? Like, why is Chris Paul playing 36 minutes?
But I'm not going to pretend to be a better coach than whatever his name is.
Monty Williams, he's coach of the year. But again, it just seems like you've done phenomenal. You could chill now, but they'll chill at some point. You have to assume, but maybe I guess it's not tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand them, but I'm not betting them. I've got nothing on that game. I don't have anything on the New Orleans Portland game. Like we're pretty much. I've got no more bets. You have anything on New Orleans Portland? Like that's just such a trash game.
We got a first blood revenge game for CJ McCollum, and the possibility of Jonas Valanciunas not playing. I mean, that's a huge DFS thing more than anything. Well, it's important because it could potentially be William Hernan Gomez season. And it's a 10 o'clock game. That's more of a DFS issue that I'm dealing with right now. But like McCollum's gonna, and he was dealing with was it an ankle or something like that? I assume he's fine. I love him on the alt stuff. I think McCollum puts on a show. What do we have him as far as his? I'm trying to find.
I don't think we have a.
Oh, it's not out yet.
There's a line yet. Right?
Yeah. So okay, I have it written down, and I just couldn't find it. Like CJ McCollum revenge game over. So that's what I have written down. But yeah, I couldn't find anything on it. But it'll drop at some point. You'll get it. And I think McCollum's gonna just light up this team because they're so bad. It's like practice for him. Portland. I don't want to. It's all nonsense in the Portland side, and nothing really jumps off. Like, we keep waiting for Chris Dunn to draw starts, and that's not happening. They keep playing Keon Johnson more. Greg Brown's expected back with his eye, so they're a little bit deeper. They should have 10 guys tonight, as opposed to I think 8 they had last game.
Yeah.
So McCollum is the guy. I like McCollum a good bit in this game, and of course, if Valanciunas doesn't play, Willie Hernan Gomez can be really interesting, or maybe Jackson Hayes, one of those two. But that's something I want to keep an eye on. CJ McCollum tonight. Yeah.
No, I'm right there with you. But that's pretty much it. That's our show. Again, guys, go get signed up for Scores and Odds. Go over to scoresandodds.com/Discord. Get signed up. Boom, threw in more bets there. But just really simple.
It just came out, not to cut you off, but I just see it coming across the interwebs that Şengün trending closer to doubtful. Man, KJ Martin's going to be the guy tonight. And Green, if they let him, he could score like 35, 40 points.
Yeah. Again, just hammer his points, rebounds, assist prop.
Yeah, I like that Green pick. And a little bit concerning as far as they might do some goofy stuff and play Christopher a bunch, but I would take those. I think it's worth taking a shot on Green.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, Dino, thanks for joining me. Again, show will be a little bit earlier tomorrow, maybe a half hour, maybe an hour. I don't know. I've got to focus on my drinking. I got to get out of here. I got to go to Lost Wages. It's going to be a good time, Dean.
Enjoy, man. Have a good time. Seriously.
Thank you. So we should be back on Tuesday. There's no basketball on Monday. Maybe we'll have a show on Friday. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how live I am. But thanks for joining us, guys. We're out of here. See you, kids.
Holler.